Dear law student, and especially those 3Ls out there that are getting ready to graduate or have already graduated, I want to tell you how I prepared for the bar exam. My name is Marco Brown, and I am Brown Family Law in Salt Lake City, Utah. I did not do well with the bar exam in the sense that, I passed. I took it twice and I passed both times. That's not the problem. I just hated studying for that thing. It was like taking 17 or 18 law school finals simultaneously, which is difficult, okay? But I don't have the longest attention span when it comes to these things. I had friends in California who studied for 6 full months, 3 hours a day in order to pass that. I had friends in Vegas who did kind of the same thing. You know, these three-day exams. It's just crazy. I just did not want to do that. Okay, so I spent about 3 weeks. I'd start at the 1st of July, and I would study until I took the bar exam, which is usually about the 22nd of July or something like that. So I had about 3 weeks. And thankfully, I've been given the gift to memorize text. So literally what I would do is I would send my family away. Okay, my wife's from Texas, so I'd send my wife and son. We have 3 kids now, but we only had 1 back then. So I'd send them away to Texas for like a month. And I would sit around, sometimes in my underwear, sometimes fully clothed, on the recliner, and I would just memorize things. 16 hours a day. I would sit there, I would read outlines, I would do flashcards, I'd do practice tests, but it was 16 like straight hours, okay, 7 days a week, essentially. I think I would go to a movie on Saturday morning, okay, like the earliest movie I could get on Saturday morning I'd go to, and then I would go to church on Sunday. And that was about it. I was probably studying during both of those things. And then I remember that I would always have the Tour de France on in the background because it's July and I love the Tour de France. So I'm watching the Tour de France every once in a while, but mostly I'm just sitting there, you know, skimming through these outlines. And I'd read the outlines, I don't know how many times, until I had them memorized, right? But that's how I was able to do it. And thankfully it worked, because if I failed one of those bar exams, I would not be an attorney. I told my wife, if I ever fail these things, I'm just gonna go work for a bank or something like that, because I just can't do this. So that's how I studied. Is that the best way to do it? I don't know. I'd listen to the Barbary tapes and do all that, but I don't know if it's the best way, but that's the way it suited me. So really the point here is do what works for you. That these places will tell you that you have to study for 3 months, or you have to study for 4 months, or whatever it is. Maybe you do. Maybe you do, and you should do that. But if you're like me, that would not work. I would have failed the bar exam if I had taken 3 months to study for it. I had to just cram as much as I possibly could in that 3 weeks, and then I went and took it, and then it was all gone from my head. That was the only way that was ever going to work for me. So figure out what works for you and do it. And then keep in mind, you're going to be okay. I know that you are scared out of your mind if you're getting ready for the bar, that this, the 3 years that you've spent going to law school and the $100,000 in debt that you took out to do it, you're going to fail this bar exam and it's all going to be for naught, and you're never going to be able to pay back your loans. Look, it's just not true. You're going to be okay. Prepare for it. Prepare how you need to prepare for it, but really do try. However that is, you need to really try at it. But if you really try at it, you're going to be fine. So don't worry about it too much. I know you're going to worry about it anyway, but let me tell you, you're going to be okay. Okay, until next time, I appreciate it.